Wait, what if I told you salt might actually help you stay lean instead of making you fat? I know, that goes against almost everything we've been told for years, but here's the twist. Cutting out salt completely could actually backfire on your body in ways you'd never expect. Most people grow up hearing that salt is dangerous, that it raises blood pressure, that it's something to avoid at all costs. But the truth is, when you restrict salt too much, your body doesn't thank you. It panics. It flips into survival mode. And once that happens, it holds on to fat instead of burning it. Think of your belly fat like wood stacked up for a campfire. Normally, your body would toss a match and burn that wood for energy. But if salt levels get too low, it's like your body hides the matches and refuses to start the fire. That's when insulin resistance sneaks in, and suddenly fat cells that should be shrinking are instead sticking around, clinging tighter than ever. And here's where it gets even more surprising. Fat cells aren't just sitting there doing nothing. They actually have little receptors, like locks on a door, and one hormone that fits those locks is called aldosterone. When aldosterone binds to fat cells, it's like turning a key that wakes them up. Suddenly, those cells start to grow, and even new baby fat cells are encouraged to mature into full-grown ones. On top of that, the fat cells you already have can expand, getting larger and storing even more energy. It's almost like giving your fat a permission slip to multiply and spread out. Definitely not what we're aiming for. Now here's the thing. Salt itself is not the bad guy. It's made up of about 40% sodium, and sodium is absolutely essential for life. Your body needs it for so many reasons. Without sodium, your nerves can't send messages properly. Your muscles can't contract the way they should. Your gut struggles to absorb nutrients from food, and even your cells lose the ability to make energy efficiently. Imagine trying to use your phone with no charger. Sure, the battery might last for a bit, but eventually everything shuts down. That's exactly how your body feels without enough sodium. And when sodium levels get too low, your body doesn't just sit there helpless. It has a powerful emergency system called the renin-angiotensin aldosterone system, or RAS for short. Think of this like your body's internal backup generator. The moment sodium drops, this system kicks in full force, working overtime to drag sodium back into your bloodstream no matter what. That's how critical salt is. Your body literally built its own safety net just to keep sodium in balance. So the next time someone tells you that salt is the enemy, remember the bigger picture. Yes, balance matters, and of course, too much of anything isn't good. But cutting salt completely might actually be doing more harm than good. Your body needs it, your cells rely on it, and your fat metabolism depends on it more than you think. Here's what's really happening inside your body. When you don't get enough salt, your adrenal glands sound the alarm and release two powerful hormones, aldosterone and angiotensin 2. Think of these like messengers running straight to your fat cells. And what do they tell them? Grow bigger, get inflamed, resist insulin, and store fat like crazy. It's almost like your body starts stockpiling fat out of thin air. And here's the twist. By cutting salt, your insulin levels rise. Remember, insulin is the hormone that tells your body, hey, let's store more fat. So instead of trimming down, you accidentally flip the switch into fat storage mode. Studies have shown this again and again. When salt is restricted, insulin goes up, insulin sensitivity drops, and the risk of metabolic problems like type 2 diabetes and even heart disease actually increases. Isn't that ironic? We've been told to avoid salt to lower our risk of those exact same conditions. Now here's where it gets practical. Salt isn't your enemy, but the type of salt you choose matters. Don't reach for chips and processed junk. That's not the kind of salt your body thrives on. Go for natural mineral-rich salts like Himalayan pink salt, Celtic sea salt, or iodized sea salt. These come with trace minerals your body can actually use, unlike the highly processed table salt that's been stripped of nutrients and loaded with anti-caking chemicals. One simple hack. First thing in the morning, dissolve a quarter teaspoon of natural salt in a glass of warm water and drink it. It's like giving your body the fuel it needs without triggering those fat-storing hormones. You can also use it before a workout for an extra energy boost. And don't be afraid to season your home-cooked meals. If you're avoiding processed foods, chances are you're not getting enough salt anyway, and a sprinkle on your eggs, salad, or veggies can actually fire up your metabolism. Here's why this works. When your body finally gets enough sodium, it stops pumping out aldosterone and angiotensin 2, those hormones that cause fat cells to swell and multiply. Salt basically tells your body, hey, you're safe. You don't need to hold on to all this extra fat. Of course, the bigger problem comes when someone is eating tons of refined carbs and sugars, driving up insulin, and at the same time cutting back on salt because they've been told to. That's like throwing gasoline on a fire. It pushes fat growth into overdrive. Elevated insulin is still the biggest culprit behind fat cell growth, but restricting salt just makes it worse. And here's the kicker. Salt is actually one of the simplest, side effect-free tools to boost your metabolism. Compare that to quick fixes like Ozempic and similar weight loss shots that block the hunger hormone, GLP-1. Sure, they can help with weight loss, but they often come with a laundry list of physical and mental side effects that can be pretty serious. Even biomedical scientists are raising concerns about these drugs. So instead of fearing salt, maybe it's time to start using it the right way. A little natural salt could be the easiest, safest step you take to support your metabolism and finally break out of that fat storage cycle. Here's something most people never hear about weight loss drugs like semaglutide, better known as Ozempic. Yes, they make the scale drop, but the weight you're losing isn't all fat. In fact, research shows that around 40% of the weight lost comes from lean mass. Now, lean mass isn't just water, it's also muscle and bone. And that's a big deal. Think of your muscles and bones like your body's foundation. If you chip away at that foundation, especially as you get older, it's incredibly hard to rebuild. Once those tissues are gone, regaining them can feel like trying to rebuild a house after half the bricks have been hauled away. But the concerns don't stop at physical health. Recent studies also highlight mental health risks that are hard to ignore. The numbers are shocking. Depression risk nearly triples, while anxiety and suicidal behavior more than double. Imagine losing weight but also losing your peace of mind in the process. That's not the kind of transformation anyone is really hoping for. The truth is, your body already has built-in tools to regulate weight, energy, and metabolism without drugs and without scary side effects. And one of the most overlooked tools is something you probably have in your kitchen right now: salt. For decades, salt has been painted as the villain, supposedly the reason behind high blood pressure. And yes, if you eat a salty meal, your body will hold on to water for a few hours to balance things out. That little bump can make your blood pressure rise temporarily. But when researchers looked at people with high blood pressure who cut down on salt, the results were almost laughable. At best, their blood pressure went down by 1 or 2 points. That's it. Barely a dent. So why doesn't salt restriction work the way we've been told? Because salt isn't the main problem. The real culprit is insulin resistance. When insulin resistance sets in, your body hangs onto sodium and makes your blood vessels tighten. That's what pushes blood pressure higher. It's not the pinch of salt on your dinner. It's the overload of refined carbs and sugar that spike insulin day after day. We've been pointing the finger at salt when the real troublemaker is sitting in the bread basket and dessert tray. Now here's where things get interesting. Salt doesn't just keep you alive. It can actually support your metabolism when you get the right kind. I'm not talking about the highly processed table salt filled with chemicals. I mean natural mineral-rich salts like Himalayan pink salt, Celtic sea salt, or iodized sea salt. These not only give your body sodium but also trace minerals it actually uses. A simple trick you can try. Dissolve a pinch of natural salt in a glass of warm water first thing in the morning. It's like giving your body a green light to start the day strong without triggering those fat-storing hormones. You can even take it before a workout for an extra energy boost. And don't be shy about salting your home-cooked meals. If you've cut out processed food, chances are you're already too low on sodium. What happens when you get enough salt? Your body finally relaxes. It stops pumping out excess aldosterone and angiotensin 2, those hormones that make fat cells swell and multiply. It's almost like telling your body, hey, we're safe now. No need to hoard fat anymore. The bigger problem is when someone is eating a diet high in refined carbs and sugars, which keep insulin levels high. And at the same time, they're cutting back on salt because they've been told it's dangerous. That combination is like throwing gasoline on a fire. It makes fat growth explode. Elevated insulin is still the biggest driver of fat storage, But restricting salt only adds more fuel to the problem. Here's the simple truth. Salt used the right way is one of the safest and most powerful tools to support your metabolism. No scary side effects. No long list of warnings. Meanwhile, more than 75% of people over 40 are turning to expensive drugs like Ozempic, thinking it's the only solution. Sure, those drugs work for weight loss, but they come with trade-offs that could cost you your muscle, your mood, and even your long-term health. Your fat cells aren't trying to sabotage you. They're just responding to the signals your body's giving them. Feed your body what it truly needs, nutrients like natural salt, and you can unlock your body's natural ability to burn fat, feel energized, and stay healthy without dangerous shortcuts. So if you've been struggling to lose weight, don't fear salt. Use it wisely. And if this opened your eyes, hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more simple, science-backed tips to take control of your health.